So in this video, we're going to have a look at visual frameworks as another type of canvas layout that you can activate. It needs some special privileges, if you like, to use this type of canvas, which I'll go through in a minute. What you can see straight away is we've got a couple of visuals or images on this canvas. They're essentially acting as background to map or place stories against, to represent maybe some themes or concepts in the story. And as you obviously will be able to see pretty quickly, by mapping these, we can start to see themes, patterns, structure that exists across the content that's mapped on here. And so it's pretty simple. You can use images of theoretical frameworks that might have been derived from research. It could be frameworks you've come up with yourself. So this first one here is a typical socio-ecological type of framework or model. If we just go across to the other one we saw a bit earlier, this is one that emerged from some work with that we did at My Fastest Mile, and we call this our chirological map or model. And it looks at either for an individual or for a place or community or organisation about being able to map really critical moments across, for an individual, it's their lifetime and looking forward, or for an organisation, an institute, a community, a place, looking intergenerationally, and what stories have emerged about that across that timeline. So if we come back here, so the difference on this type of canvas of visual framework is, rather than the stories and content floating and their position essentially self-organizing based on what the other content they're connected to, or like you might have seen hashtags such as in the principles-based framework, on a visual framework canvas, we can actually pin the stories in an exact location or position on a map against these visual frameworks, because we don't really want them moving. So to enable that, you need to have host or curator rights to a visual framework canvas, which you can get in touch with us and we can talk through, if you need to do that, how that works, such that then you can manually position any content in the relevant spot on the framework. So example, this story here talked about being overworked and not having the time to volunteer or contribute in the local community, which is a classic for, yes, it's community, but it's also about societal trends, about people working more and more and essentially being paid less and less, if you like. So yeah, and then the filtering still applies, and this can become very powerful. So you can filter again, people might still be tagging their content, and you can filter by that. You can see how the content on these frameworks is evolving over time. So if we just start by dates and start including them, we're basically seeing how is content being populated on here over time, and is that changing? So obviously in a lot of projects, that's the big thing we're looking for, particularly with complex challenges, wicked problems, is, are we seeing change or weak signals of shifting over time? And this feature of being able to unfold that by the dates can be really powerful on a visual framework. So that's the basic idea. Again, there's probably additional layers that we can go through if you're interested in the potential of this type of canvas.